How many times a day are we obliged to daven? According to the Rambam, tefillah is a mitzvat aseh. It's a biblical command. And apparently, the Torah doesn't specify, because in order to fulfill that biblical obligation, it is sufficient to daven once a day. Min HaTorah, the Torah directs us, just daven one time a day. However, in history, there were reasons that the Rambam thinks that this position was modified and changed. And whether or not, even according to the Rishonim who hold that mitzvah of tefillah is not a mitzvah d'oraisa, but a mitzvah d'rabbanan, the explanation of why there are more than one tefillah appointed time in the day remains the same. Whether you hold like the Rambam that tefillah is a mitzvah d'oraisa, or you hold like the Ramban, for example, that tefillah is a mitzvah d'rabbanan, the number of tefillot during the day are determined by the same kind of analysis. And this is what the Rambam says. Parak Aleph, Hilchot Tefillah, paragraph Hey. And he said that the Chachamim decided that the number of tefillot that we say during the day should be the same as the number of korbanot that we must bring every day. 2 tefillot paralleling the 2 tamid sacrifices, the perpetual sacrifice that are brought twice a day. And on the days that there is a musaf, an additional sacrifice, then there is a 3rd tefillah on that day, which parallels the bringing of the korban musaf. So that the Rambam establishes a principle that besides the obligation to daven each day, in some way tefillah incorporates a memory of the sacrifices that were brought each day in the temple that are called tamid, the perpetual sacrifices. And therefore, when we daven, we reflect the situation in the Beit HaMikdash. After all, the Anshe Knesset HaGdolah lived certainly after the destruction of the first temple, and therefore their determination about tefillah was, let it resonate with the temple service that no longer exists. And that temple service included the Korban Tamid that was brought twice a day. And then the morning, the Tamid that was brought in the morning, the tefillah is called Tfilat HaShachar, and the one that's brought in the afternoon is called Mincha, and the one that's on Musaf, are those days that there's a Musaf sacrifice, is called Musaf. So according to the Rambam, on most days there were 2 tefillot, Shacharit and Mincha. On Shabbat and Moadim there were 3, Shacharit, Musaf, and Mincha. And therefore, we now know that in order to fulfill the mitzvah d'oraisa of davening once a day, or the mitzvah d'rabbanan davening, right, you have to actually say the Shemona Esrei at least twice a day. On some days, to say the Shemona Esrei 3 times. Shachrit and Mincha every day, and Musaf on the days that a Musaf sacrifice is brought.